What's going on YouTube, Zen Rahman? And today I'll be talking about how much protein should you be having to gain lean muscle mass. Before we begin, I'm not a certified fitness trainer or nutritionist or dietitian, so it is what it is. If you choose to believe me, that's your choice. You don't have to believe what I say. Okay, so how much protein should you be having to gain lean muscle mass? Ideally, you should be having 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Okay, so you can take whatever your body weight is in kg, multiply it by 2.2, and that's your body weight in pounds. So for every pound of body weight that you carry, you should be having 1 gram of protein. Now, if you're very overweight, then you don't need to be having that much because what you actually need is 1 gram per lean body mass. You can disregard the weight of your body fat if you're too overweight. There's no reason to believe that you can't gain muscle having less than that, maybe half a gram of protein per pound of body weight. But again, I'm talking about what is ideal. And if your goal is to put on lean muscle mass, then have at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. If you're on a bulk, you can go up to 1.25, but you really don't need more than that because there's only a certain limit of protein that the body can synthesize for muscle protein synthesis. I mean, you can't just gain all the muscle that you want in a day or overnight and be Superman or Captain America. Okay, there's only a certain amount of new muscle that your body can build on a day-to-day basis, and so there's only a certain amount of protein that can be utilized by your body daily for muscle protein synthesis. Now, I'm not saying that having more than 1 gram or 1.25 grams of protein per pound of body weight is unhealthy. I mean, protein is harder to digest than other macros. But if you're comfortable having so much protein, then it's not something that's unhealthy if you're absorbing and digesting it fine. And it does help people feel stronger, have more strength, more power. Um, that's how most people feel who are having a lot of protein on their diets and they're doing hard training. So you can have more than that, but you don't really need so much. Ideally, you should have 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight to gain lean mass. And if you're on a bulk, you can go up to 1.25 grams per pound of body weight, but there's no reason to go beyond that because there's only a certain amount of protein that your body will be synthesizing for muscle protein synthesis. Now, for those people who don't work out, I mean, protein is necessary for maintaining our muscle also because carbs and fats, like I've said before in other videos, are fuel sources, and protein is a macro which is anabolic in nature. It supports muscle growth, hypertrophy, and recovery. So, in order to maintain the muscle that you have in your body and you're not training, you should be having some protein, have enough protein on your diet. Even if you're not training, you can have at least half a gram per pound of body weight, to be healthy and feel good and have a good balanced diet with a good balanced macro profile. And for survival, you can be having something as low as zero point 0.3 or zero point 0.4 grams per pound of body weight or 0.25. But I mean, you could do that if your goal is just to survive, just to make it to the line. But um, I mean, most people would surely want to perform better than the average person physically and feel more energetic, better functionality than the average person. So, for people who don't exercise, I would recommend having half a gram of protein per pound of body weight in your diet to have a good balanced diet. And there's no reason you can't have 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, even if you're not training. I mean, it's going to make you feel okay if you're comfortable having that amount. It's not unhealthy again, but have your fats and carbs balanced out in such a manner that you're not going over your maintenance calories and putting on weight. Now, for those of you guys who work out and who want to be muscular and you're following a lot of like pro bodybuilders and fitness influencers and whoever, and they might be having up to 2 or 3 grams of protein per pound of body weight. And I don't want you to chase their macros to have look similar to theirs, to have a physique similar to theirs, because most of these guys are on steroids or performance enhancing drugs. And when you're on steroids, your rate of muscle protein synthesis, it's always through the roof. It's always at its maximum. So your body's ability to grow muscle and your body's ability to recover, that's very enhanced when you're on performance enhancing drugs. So these guys can have a lot of protein and eat a lot of food and synthesize it for muscle growth and recovery, and be able to perform on the same scale. But as naturally training people, people like us who are not on performance enhancing drugs or steroids, we won't be able to synthesize that amount of protein for our gains. So, like I said, 1 to 1.25 grams of protein per pound of body weight maximum. Now, using steroids doesn't necessarily make someone a bad person, so I don't want you to judge someone based on what they're doing. I mean, these people are just so motivated with their goals, with whatever sport they're a part of. And I've been following a lot of these people for some time who are on performance enhancing drugs, and most of them are better than most people I know. So I mean, it's the truth. It's what's real. So it's what I'm just saying it as it is. So I don't want you to judge people based on what they're doing. It's just that everyone is doing it at the level, and most major sports these days, the top guys are using steroids. I mean, every sport, most of the sports. Okay, it is what it is. So don't judge people based on what they do. But I'm not encouraging anyone to do steroids or performance enhancing drugs. I don't do it myself. It's way more complicated than you may think. So do the best that you can. There's a lot that you can achieve naturally. So just give it your best and train hard and eat good. And you can do a lot naturally. Okay, you don't need to be on something. And yeah, don't judge people, and you can't be synthesizing the same amount of protein that these enhanced guys are synthesizing, and it doesn't make anyone a bad person, but it's just what it. So I don't come up with these numbers, guys. There's a lot of credible fitness influencers and personalities out there, professionals who are doing the research and coming up with this information. And like I said, I follow a lot of these guys. And about this protein consumption for natural athletes, Mr. John Meadows, someone who I follow, has been talking about it in a lot of his recent videos and interviews and podcasts, protein consumption. And most of us are having more protein than we need. So I'm just sharing the information with you because I believe what John says. I apply what John says, and any information that he puts out and I apply, I just feel it working right away. So I mean, all of us who follow John, we have a bit of a joke between us that John's word is the law. You just follow what you say. So that's how good he is. He's a certified nutritionist and trainer and whatnot, and he's an IFBB pro bodybuilder. So he's got a lot of credibility. Manages to help out a lot of people. His knowledge has helped me in a lot of ways with my nutrition and training. And when I'm looking for something new to make a change into any of my training or nutrition strategies, I mean, he's the first person I'd be looking to for information. And like I said, what he says, it just works. So I'll put a link to his channel at the end of this video, and I would recommend you guys, if you're interested in learning more about nutrition and training. And John's just amazing, so you can give him a follow, watch some of his videos, and you can certainly learn a lot. I learn a lot from him. And when I hear the more hardcore podcasts that he's a part of, and I just feel like the information that he puts out, like on his YouTube and Instagram, it's just the tip of the iceberg. So it's a great experience learning from John, and maybe you guys can learn something from him too. So guys, that was a little something about protein consumption and the amount you need to have to survive if you're not training, and to gain lean muscle mass if you're on a bulk. So whatever your goals are, whatever your plan is, just sharing a little information with you guys. Let me know what you thought about the video. I did another video earlier on why protein is essential for muscle growth or muscle hypertrophy, and in the same video I talked about muscle protein breakdown and muscle protein synthesis and some other things. So I'll put the video to the end screen to this video along with the link to John Meadows channel. And yeah, like the video, let me know what you thought, let me know what other topics you want me to cover, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.